Welcome to the Breakfast Party live at 96 number one. Tweez Raw Fusion. Nikki like she couldn't get up this morning. But this morning we've got a special guest. It's different this morning. It's Carnival weekend, the greatest show on earth. And with the greatest show on earth, we say comes great responsibility. Everything gets loose. So we want to introduce to you the Public Relations Officer of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, Superintendent Joanne Archie. Welcome to 96 number one.
Pleasant morning to you and pleasant morning to the listening audience. It's my pleasure to be here.
Well, we know you didn't come to wind down a fet or sing a song.
Well, I was
morning.
enjoying the music actually.
But tell us why you're here this morning.
Well, as you know and as everyone know, we are into Carnival. We are just a few days away from the actual Monday and Tuesday event. And we are here to let the public know, one, that the police service will be out in full force to ensure the safety of citizens and visitors during this time. However, we will still want to, advise members of the public how they can keep themselves safe during this period. And there are simple things that they can do, simple safety practices that they can adopt in order to be safe. Yes, the police will be there, but we need to protect ourselves as well.
Right.
And as it relates to, let me first start. Today is fantastic Friday, and I want to wish all the artists all the best in their competition. However, I want to advise them that ensure that their driver get enough rest, that they drink responsibly and do not drink when they are driving.
Right.
Because as we know, they go from event to event in quick
right.
time.
You're correct.
We would want them around for as long as it may take. They need to represent us on the world stage. So the soca artists, the chutney artists, the calypsonians, be safe and all the best in the competitions. As it relates to persons coming into the carnival celebrations, we advise you against wearing excessive jewelry and also carrying around large sums of cash. Do not make yourself an easy target. As it relates to children, around this time, we tend to neglect children because we want to go and jump in our bands and we want to attend the social events. But you have a responsibility once you have the guardian, you are a guardian and you have the custody of children to ensure their safety during this period. Please know in whose custody you are leaving these children. It must be in the custody of a responsible adult. If you are taking the children with you into the carnival celebrations, please ensure that they are properly labeled with the name tags, which will carry the name of the parent or guardian, an address, and maybe a telephone number where they can be contacted. Drivers, again, we advise you, do not drink and drive.
And I guess the service is going to be out there in full force with the breathalyzer and so on.
Certainly. And at
different exercises.
Some of the major events, we have sober zones where we allow the patrons coming out of the fed to test their breath alcohol level to see whether they are fit to drive.
Before you hit the road.
Before you hit the road.
Right,
so we're protecting you from yourselves.
Right. And a big ticket.
Exactly.
Fine or jail.
Exactly. So other practices of if you're at home, we advise that you ensure that your home is properly secured, even leaving home to go to attend carnival. Or if some people do not attend the carnival celebrations, they tend to go camping.
Right.
To the persons who are going to camps, we advise you to access the campers registration form at the police station so that the police would be aware of where you are, the number of persons in your party, and how long you intend to remain at that venue so that the patrols can visit you from time to time to ensure your safety. So this is just to ensure members of the public that police officers will be out there on horseback, on foot, on mobile, in the beaches, in the communities, and everywhere where carnival celebration is being held.
So Superintendent Archie, tell us some of the offenses that some people, or most people, take for granted around carnival time, or they just honestly don't know. And, when they hear it, it's, like, what? That's offense. I can't do that at carnival time, that kind of thing. What's some of the offenses that
Well,
some
I know
people,
one of the major ones that they have been asking, and what we have been seeing, because as it happens all over the world, where the masqueraders tend to take a wine and the police officers on duty. We advise you against that.
Right.
We are saying, yes, it's Carnival, enjoy yourself. Leave the police officer, let him do
So
what
wait,
he's
wait,
supposed to do.
is it against the law to do that?
It certainly is. It certainly is. So please do not whine back.
So
you may be whining all the way to the cell.
What Superintendent Archie, I see women rocking out on male officers all the time.
That doesn't make it right. And while we understand it's Carnival, but we just asking, leave the policeman alone. He has it hard already.
So the female masqueraders really get a double eye.
Well,
you know, if it was a male masquerader backing up on a female officer, we in jail long time.
Hell yes. But no, it is against the law to do it, and we advising against it. I mean, they may see it as all fun, lighten up, officer, but let's desist from it.
All right, okay. And some of the other offenses, it's still people are surprised because some people, wouldn't have thought that is an offense by just,
Yes.
Yeah.
We have some other offenses, like, for instance, wearing a mask. If you are not involved in the carnival celebrations, even so, if you are supposed to be masked, you're supposed to be registered in a band. Even driving a vehicle while masked, that is an offense against the Carnival Regulations.
So in other words, you're saying, okay, I belong to a band and my section, we're wearing masks. You're saying, fine, but don't drive to the event with it.
If you're wearing a mask because of the carnival celebration, of course, you would be registered in a band.
Right, but driving,
but you
am I allowed to drive with
unless
it? No.
the vehicle is registered as a vehicle to convey the masqueraders from
then
those.
No. Right.
You cannot
so
do
a private vehicle, you have a mask in a section, you can't wear
that
it
until you get there.
Right, okay.
In addition to that, another one, we see persons still wearing the camouflage clothing. It's against the law, and you can be arrested for it.
All right, so some people have an argument about that with the camouflage, and they say, well, my camouflage black and white, they are made to wear that. My camouflage blue and green and
They said that any color.
Any color.
So
once it's a camouflage pattern.
Exactly, because we see it being worn a lot around this time.
Right.
But it is against the law, and we advise against it.
And so, what is the procedure? Let's say I'm caught wearing a camouflage outfit on the road.
Well, you'll be arrested. Do you think you're going to take your clothes off? No, we won't do that. You won't do that.
That is exactly what I was asking.
With respect to females, we still see females standing at the side of the road late at night when commuting. We advise you to remain, or if you're traveling, to do so in groups. If you're going to an event, a social event, where you're likely to meet somebody for the first time, we advise you against leaving the security of that event to go with that person, or that person may ask you to meet them at a hotel room. I'm saying you're an adult, you can do so, but we advise against that, especially if it's somebody that you're meeting for the first time.
Right, yes.
We say go out in groups, and we advise stay with your friends and then don't depart. You will be safe for doing so, and access public transport wherever it's possible. We have a reliable public transport during this period.
Right.
Avoid taking the PH taxis. And again, you are socializing and watch your drinks, leaving your drinks unattended for any period to come back. If you feel that you left your drink there, throw it away and get a new one.
Right. Well, a lot of bands seemingly they think that they can do almost anything on the road, and I understand there are offenses towards bands themselves and band owners and that sort of thing while they're on the road. What are some of those offenses?
Of course, we know, and the band leaders are aware, because we do have stakeholders meeting in preparation for Carnival.
Right.
And if you are number one, you must be licensed as a band to be on the streets. There is the stipulation as it relates to vehicles, the height that you can mount any boxes on a vehicle. I think it's 15 feet.
Right.
And those are some of the major ones, really.
So in other words, don't come out to your neighborhood and just gather up 50 people and just jump in the road and say, hey, ban here.
Certainly
Must be
not.
registered.
You must be registered. You must be registered. And we never really had any issues with those things, over the years. But
Yeah.
still, we need to remind persons because we are here just to ensure that everybody is safe during this period. There'll be a safety net thrown over the whole country. We would be working in collaboration with the NOC, Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force, and all the security services to ensure the safety of citizens and visitors during this period.
What seems to be the biggest problem that the TTPS has when it comes to carnival and masqueraders? Recurring problems every year, and you just have to keep working at it.
Well, the major challenges we have, and that is really not to a large extent the bands coming off their route and which causes congestion. So the police officers have to be directing traffic, and basically that's some of the major, or maybe some reveler in the band, drink to the extent that they're unable to control themselves and interfering with other members of the band in an indecent way. So you may have to arrest a person. I mean, I was just coming here and I saw a person on the pavement there, a business place now opening up, and he wants to buy something, and they're telling him they're not opening up, and he's using some construction language there. And we had to stop and, talk, and because we do use a discretion during this period.
Right.
We don't want to raff everybody.
Jump up and lock up.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we're still asking persons to be responsible. I mean, look at the time of the morning, and he is really...
Backing down the people at the door cussing.
Oh, yes. And then explaining, but they're wrong. The people wrong. I said, but they're closed.
Yeah.
They're closed. They cannot sell you a gyro at this time.
Superintendent Archie, a common problem. Juve morning. Several masqueraders out in the street, and when it's now getting just before the sun rises, there seems to be always a lot of people, who tend to want to jump in any band as they pass and interfere with the masqueraders, female masqueraders,
Yes.
salute, and even male to some extent, because they end up in the altercation because they're trying to protect their, whether it's brother, sister, or friend, or whatever it is. And, at times you hear people say things like, I ain't seen no police.
Well, we will be having over 4,000 police officers on the streets come Carnival. Well, actually, from tonight, tomorrow, the Carnival with the kids on the street.
Yes, right.
And police will be everywhere. However, we realize some of those bands, they hire security as well.
Correct.
So that we asking persons, listen, let's be tolerant around this time. Somebody bunks you because it's a large crowd conversion on a space that will make it smaller during this period. So somebody may be right just next to you. Somebody bunks you or step on your toe, or just apologize, or let the person apologize. And let's do not try to deal with this with anger, because that's where it starts. Somebody bunks somebody, or somebody whine on somebody girlfriend, and a fight starts. Let's not have these. I mean, it's just a matter of being tolerant, understanding it's Carnival. Everybody is here to enjoy themselves. So the police may not have to go into action if people just act responsibly.
And then the other problem is when the sun sets. And, people who don't belong to the band want to just, jump in the band and, do all sort of things. Sometimes, some of the complaints that we hear, people calling and say, they saw officers on the street, yes, but the officers didn't seem to be interested in looking to see if there was a problem because they saw security
Yes.
for the band, who we know are not armed.
Yes.
Or shouldn't be.
Yes.
Or anything like that. And, they say sometimes the officers more or less just stand aside and look rather than observe to see the problem. And they know for a fact that every single year at that time, as soon as the sun goes down, this is when, people want to come out, start to, want to grab the woman, want to take your phone, want to take that, and, other things like so. And so, some people are saying, the officers actually need to, sometimes you see them posted.
Yes.
So they may be in a corner, two people, and then you go a few people and I say two people, but you don't necessarily see them like walking and looking and that sort of thing.
Well, all officers who will be detailed for duty during this period will be briefed. And part of that briefing is to ensure that you act in a professional manner, that you access the persons who may call on you for assistance, whether there be a scrimmage or whatever, that you not just stand there. You're supposed to take a walk, but if you're on a particular point or location,
Right.
they are the ones who are detailed to walk the beat. They are the ones who are detailed to work a specific corner or point. But however, that doesn't say if something happens at least 10 feet away or 15 feet away
That they can't leave their post.
you have to.
Right.
You're a police officer on duty, and your role there is to preserve the peace and ensure the safety of our revelers and persons visiting the carnival.
So what do you have in place for, let's say, a major scrimmage where, you've just seen two officers here and two officers there, but then an altercation end up, because it's, a crew on a crew, and, let's say you have 10 or 12 people getting into something, and you may just have like one or two officers. What is there in place for, to get the other officers on the spot at the
There
time?
would be the mobile patrols, and each officer will be outfitted with a wireless set where they can call for assistance. So if you may see two officers on one location, two maybe 50 feet away, the fact that if something happens there, he can call for assistance, and there will always be roving patrols around the area to assist if they need be.
All right. Anything else you'd like to, or any other offenses that we may not be aware of that they'd like to let us know before we close?
Well, another offense, urinating in public, that's indecent exposure. Exposing your body, indecently exposing your body, it's a breach of the Carnival Regulations.
These days the ladies stooping down more than the fellas and
So
wall and drain and all kind of thing. I'm just saying it as it is, right?
Yes, I know.
All
and
right.
I'm glad you raised it. So I want to take this opportunity to advise the ladies, please access the public utilities that are there. And if you don't feel safe going alone, go in groups. Do not find a dark corner to stoop and urinate or relieve yourself, because it can work to your detriment, because there are unscrupulous persons out there who may be eyeing you as well. So you need to ensure your safety during this period.
I saw there was a list with things like during a presentation or performances under the general offenses, someone who was indecently attired, or someone perform lewd or suggestive dancing. What constitutes lewd or suggestive dancing on Carnival Day? That is an offense.
Well, that's a difficult question you're asking me there, because of the fact that what I may deem as a police officer lewd and suggestive, you may find it's carnival and it can happen. But what all we are saying is, whatever you do, because you're seeing it, sometimes adult females and males with young children gyrating to the extent that it's really obscene.
Right.
So we want to advise against that. And even with the kids on the street carnival, please don't have the kids doing the same. Those suggestive dances down on the ground whining. I mean, I've seen the children enjoy themselves without having to go down on the ground and doing all these.
Jump up and down.
Yes,
jump
yes.
up and down. No,
jump and enjoy yourself. Have
the
fun.
floor.
Not the obscene
And
down
bust a
down on
split
the
and all.
ground. and the joke down on the ground. No. That it doesn't
yeah.
look good. And we advise parents to speak to their children and ensure that they behave responsibly themselves in, for the carnival.
What constitutes indecent attire on Carnival Day?
Exposure, indecent exposure of body parts.
Okay, so let's say masquerader wearing pasties. Would that be deemed, a young lady, big boobs, just pasties and the nipples? Would that constitute indecent?
If you expose your breast and other indecent parts to the extent that it's visible to the public, that is indecent exposure, and it's against the law.
So you're saying the wire bracket work, but not the pasties?
No.
Just asking, because it's how it's going these days, huh? From what extent to the next? All right, okay. And then you have other things like drunk and disorderly in a public place, well,
Yes.
obviously. And then you have like obscene songs.
Yes. Well, the obscene songs, well, we know what we will call obscene language here. And, even if an artist mounts a stage and has obscene words in his song, he can be charged. So that's basically what the offense speak of.
And what about the control for selling liquor to minors, or even,
It's
masqueraders who may be under 18 and What is then?
It's against the law under the Liquor License Act and also under the Carnival Regulations 2015 to sell alcoholic beverage to persons under the age of 18. So we are again advising persons who, some of them you see they're walking around with a bucket selling alcoholic beverages.
Yes.
You need to have a license if you have to sell alcoholic beverages. So please do not break the law because we will be very vigilant out there.
Bans and bottles. What do you say?
Well, nothing has happened as yet, at least not for this year Carnival.
Right.
So,
but is it something that you think that should be put in place?
Well,
will make a big difference.
Actually, I think it would. And because, again, throwing missiles, glass bottles, or anything of the sort that can injure persons, that is against the law as well. So far, we have not had any legislation put in place that is related to the glass bottles. So I guess that is as it is.
And one thing that some people take for granted, carrying, and I know this is under the ban route offences, carrying or using flags or coats of or the coat of arms of any country in a derogatory manner.
Correct. Now, you'd be surprised that all these offences existed and the public was not aware. But we have published it, and members of the public be aware if you are depicting a particular mass or so, you cannot use these coat of arms in any way that will appear to be degrading to the country that it represents.
So there's nothing to do with official size or anything like that when it comes to the coat of arms. It could be big, small.
Once you use it, however, and it's in a derogatory manner, it is against the Carnival Regulations.
Right. And then, well, for the flags part, though, does it have to be an official flag, like size and so on? Or you talking about, okay, I have a bandana flag of Trinidad and Tobago, you know?
I think they speak of the 12. Flag.
Yeah.
The flag, I think they speak of the flag. Yeah.
So official.
Yes.
Official size and that sort of thing. So don't come with your big flag, official size, everything running there. Wave, and then it's down on the ground.
Yeah,
people stomping in it.
You know,
what they
because as you start to drink your liquor and you forget what is happening there, you have the flag and then you start to trump the flag on the ground. So that, you can be charged for that.
All right. So you're playing mass?
Yes, I am playing with Stephen Williams and Associates.
All right. Stephen. Good one. Just in case you all missed it, she's speaking about the acting commissioner of police. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Anything else that you want to say before
Just on behalf of the Commissioner of Police and the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, I want to wish all revelers, all masqueraders, all artists, and everyone enjoying Carnival just a safe Carnival.
And enjoy your Carnival too with Williams and Associates.
I certainly will.
The Breakfast Party at 96 number 1. A special guest this morning, Superintendent Joanne Archie. I hope that you all took everything in because, at least you all are sober now so that when you're not sober a little later on, when it is the day for your afternoon party or cruise or whatever it is, that you keep in mind what's going on. And we still have a lot of people who are driving drunk, male, female, anytime, anywhere. And I also agree that we all need the designated drivers. I'm my own designated driver. I do not drink at all.
Great.
At all.
Great.
I don't smoke, so I'm blowing no smoking, no body face, and I don't curse. So I'll have to lock me for something else.
I hope it's not whining on the police officer.
Team 96. No.